Good day and welcome. Today you and I will take a long, unhurried walk through the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. This is a practical speech you can feed into your text-to-speech system. It is written in a clean, motivational tone with short sentences, clear transitions, and no distracting symbols. The goal is simple. By the end, you will hold a working operating system for your life, your work, and your relationships. You will also know exactly how to practice, how to measure progress, and how to correct course when real life gets messy. Let us begin with the foundation. Covey teaches that real change grows from the inside out. Lasting success does not start with image hacks or quick tricks. It starts with character. It starts with principles like integrity, respect, fairness, responsibility, and service. When your daily choices align with sound principles, trust grows, capability compounds, and results follow with less friction. The book also describes 3 stages of growth. First is dependence. Others have to do it for you. Second is independence. You learn to do it for yourself. Third is interdependence. You work with others to create outcomes none of you could create alone. Habits 1 through 3 move you from dependence to independence. Habits 4 through 6 build interdependence. Habit 7 keeps you renewed so that your progress is sustainable. There are 3 recurring tools that support every habit. The first is the circle of concern and the circle of influence. Concern includes everything that worries you. Influence includes what you can actually change. The second tool is the emotional bank account. Every relationship has an account. You make deposits when you keep promises, show kindness, listen, apologize sincerely, and act with loyalty. You make withdrawals when you fail to keep your word, disrespect others, or put your ego above the relationship. The third tool is the balance between production and production capability. Production is the result you want today. Production capability is the health of the asset that creates that result. Your mind, your skills, your team, your tools, and the trust people have in you are all part of capability. Ignore capability and your results break down. Invest in capability and your results scale. Now we move to the habits. We will go deep. We will add examples, exercises, and small daily moves that you can use right away. Habit 1 is be proactive. This is the habit of personal responsibility. It is the choice to be a cause, not an effect. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is your power to choose. Proactive people make use of that space. They act from values rather than moods. They focus their energy on steps they can take today. Reactive people give their power away. They say that someone else must change first. They wait for perfect conditions. They complain more than they commit. How do you practice proactivity in daily life? First, observe your language. When you catch yourself saying, I have to, rewrite it as I choose to, and add a because. This trains ownership. Second, when a problem feels large, shrink it to a single next action you control, and do that now. Third, notice blame. When you hear yourself blaming a person or a condition, ask, what is one move within my control that would improve this situation? Fourth, build small streaks. For example, decide to keep one promise to yourself each day for 7 days. It can be as simple as a 10-minute walk, a healthy meal, or a phone call you have avoided. Each kept promise grows the muscle of self-trust. Here is a story. A team is late because a vendor failed. A reactive manager vents and waits. A proactive manager narrows scope, proposes a staged delivery, informs the client before the surprise arrives, asks the vendor for a concrete recovery plan, and sets a brief internal review to prevent a repeat. The facts did not change. The choice did. Questions that strengthen habit 1 are straightforward. What can I do in the next hour that moves this forward? What am I pretending not to notice? Where is my circle of influence here? If I could not blame anyone, what would I try? Measure habit 1 by counting proactive actions taken each day and by tracking commitments kept versus commitments made. Improvement in these numbers is proof that you are taking control of your life. Habit 2 is begin with the end in mind. Habit 1 makes you the driver. Habit 2 picks the destination. Start every day project, conversation, and meeting with a clear picture of success. Without a chosen end, urgency hijacks your schedule. With a chosen end, you align your attention and say no without guilt. Begin at the level of life direction. Imagine the people who know you best describing you at a celebration years from now. What qualities do you want them to name? What contributions do you want them to remember? Write a 1-page mission statement from this reflection. Keep it short enough to memorize. An example mission might be this: live with integrity, learn daily, build others, create meaningful work that serves. Then move to the level of roles. List your key roles. You might be a parent, a partner, a teammate, a leader, a creator, a friend, a learner, and a citizen. For each role, define a meaningful result for the next quarter. Make it specific. Make it important. For your role as partner, you might protect a weekly device-free dinner. For your role as leader, you might deliver a simple strategy document with 2 clear bets and concrete measures. For your role as learner, you might complete 1 course and publish your notes. Now apply the end in mind to projects and meetings. Before you start, write success in 1 sentence. Add the key measures. Add the constraints you will respect. Add the definition of done. Share this with your team or with the person across the table. Clarity at the beginning cuts waste in the middle and conflict at the end. A short example makes it clear. A product group writes this: by the end of the quarter, we will reduce checkout drop-off by 20% by replacing 5 screens with 3 simple screens. Now decisions become easy. If a discussion helps the end, it stays. If it does not, it goes. Questions that support habit 2 are simple. What does success look like? How will we know? What will we not do? Measure this habit by counting. How many meetings start with a clear outcome? How many roles have real quarterly results? and whether your mission statement is reviewed weekly. The numbers will tell you if you are leading your life on purpose. Habit 3 is put first things first. Habit 2 sets the compass. Habit 3 moves your feet in the right direction every day. It is the habit of disciplined execution and priority. Covey uses a simple time matrix. Quadrant 1 is urgent and important. These are crises and hard deadlines. Quadrant 2 is important, but not urgent. These are planning, learning, prevention, deep work, and relationships. Quadrant 3 is urgent, but not important. These are noise and other people's priorities. Quadrant 4 is neither urgent nor important. These are escapes and wastes of time. Highly effective people live more and more in Quadrant 2. They still handle real urgency, but they do not allow urgency to erase what matters most. Build a weekly preview routine. First, reconnect with your mission and roles. Second, choose 3 to 5 big rocks, which are the few important outcomes for the week. Third, protect these big rocks in your calendar before everything else. Fourth, batch small items like email and admin so they do not fill the whole day. Fifth, review at the end of the week and capture lessons. Use a daily compass. Each day, pick one essential task that meaningfully advances a big result. Protect a 90-minute block of deep work for that task. During that block, turn off notifications and close chat. End the day with a 5-minute shutdown ritual. Note wins, note lessons, and set tomorrow's single essential. Saying no with grace is a core skill in Habit 3. Practice phrases like this. I want to give this the focus it deserves. I can do it Friday, or we can reduce the scope to fit today. Which would you prefer? Or this. I am at capacity. If this is the top priority, which current commitment should pause. Clear language protects your true commitments and invites fair choices. Here is a case study. A leader spends all week in meetings. They begin a weekly preview and protect 2 quadrant 2 blocks. One block is for strategy. One block is for coaching a direct report. After a month, the team spends less time firefighting. Clarity improves. Execution improves. The emotional tone improves. Nothing magical happened. Priority and protection did. Questions that support Habit 3 include this. Is this urgent and important or just loud? What one decision removes 10 future decisions? What will I protect even when things get busy? Measure this habit by counting hours in Quadrant 2, big rocks completed per week, and days that include at least one deep work block. At this point, you have the private victory. You act from values. You choose clear ends. You focus on first things. Now you are ready for the public victory. The next 3 habits build trust, mutual benefit, and creative collaboration. Habit 4 is think win-win. Win-win is not soft. It is rigorous and respectful. It says that agreements should serve both sides. It says that there is often a creative path that meets everyone's real interests. The opposites are win-lose, lose-win, and lose-lose. When a true win-win is not possible, no deal is the honest alternative. A strong win-win agreement includes 5 elements. First, desired results that are clear and measurable. Second, guidelines that define principles and guardrails. Third, resources such as time, budget, tools, and people. Fourth, a cadence of accountability, such as weekly or monthly reviews. Fifth, consequences that follow naturally from outcomes, both good and bad. To reach mutual benefit in negotiation, start by asking, what does great look like for you? Separate positions from interests. Expand options before you choose. Use objective standards where possible. If values or constraints clash beyond repair, say no deal respectfully and preserve the relationship for another day. Here is an example. A client wants delivery in 4 weeks. Your team needs 10 weeks to protect quality. Together you design a staged plan. You ship a lean version in 5 weeks with a narrow scope. You schedule a follow-up release for quality enhancements with dates you can honor. You agree on an early testing window to surface issues before launch. The client gets speed. You preserve quality and trust. Both sides win. Watch for red flags, hidden agendas, unclear authority, one-sided risk, vague promises about later. When you see these, slow down and reset the agreement. Questions that support habit 4 include this. What would a win look like for them? What would a win look like for me? If neither can win under current constraints, is no deal wiser? Measure habit 4 by counting explicit agreements in place, by tracking renewal of partnerships, and by watching the ratio of escalations to total engagements. When win-win grows, escalations drop and renewals rise. Habit 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most people listen in order to reply. Effective people listen in order to learn. Empathic listening does not mean agreement. It means you hear the facts and the feelings so clearly that the other person says that is right. Only then do you share your view. Only then do you advocate a plan. Use a simple sequence. First, set aside the urge to interrupt. Second, ask open questions. Third, reflect back the core message and emotion in your own words. Fourth, check for accuracy. When the other person says that is right, you have earned the right to be heard. Now share your perspective calmly and clearly. Link your view to shared goals. Consider a difficult conversation with a client. The client says they are frustrated because a delay is costing them credibility. You listen without defense. You say it sounds like this delay is hurting your timeline and putting your own promises at risk. They say that is exactly it. Now you present the root cause, the recovery options, and the safest plan forward. The temperature drops because they feel seen. Decision-making can finally begin. Questions for habit 5 include these. What would I feel in their position? What proof do I have that I captured their meaning? What truth might I be missing? Measure progress by counting moments in the week when you hear that is right from a colleague, client, or family member. Also track rework caused by miscommunication. As empathic listening grows, rework falls. Habit 6 is synergize. Synergy is creative collaboration. It turns differences into assets. It creates a third option that is better than either of the original proposals. Synergy requires two conditions. First, psychological safety. People must be able to speak honestly without fear of punishment. Second, a shared goal. Everyone needs to agree on what good looks like. Run a simple process when your team needs synergy. Start with a clear statement of the end and the constraints. Invite silent idea generation to avoid groupthink. Let each person share without interruption. Ask the group to build on ideas before judging them. Ask what are we missing and whose perspective is missing. Combine options into a few promising blends. Test assumptions quickly. Keep what works. Discard what does not. Decide on the next step and assign owners and dates. Here is a story. A team debates pricing. One side wants a flat fee. Another side wants pure usage. The team produces a blended answer. They create 3 simple tiers with a usage cushion and clear overage rules. Customers understand the value. Sales can explain it. Finance sees fairness. The combined option is better than any single original idea. Questions that support habit 6 include these. Who sees this differently and why? What assumption am I treating as a fact? How can we test this today? Measure synergy by tracking decisions that use combined options, by surveying psychological safety on the team, and by watching time to decision without loss of quality. When synergy is present, speed and quality can rise together. Habit 7 is sharpen the saw. This habit fuels all the others. You renew yourself in 4 dimensions. The physical dimension is sleep, nutrition, and movement. The mental dimension is learning, focus, and reflection. The social and emotional dimension is trust, gratitude, and meaningful connection. The spiritual dimension is purpose, values, and contribution beyond self. When you invest here, your capacity grows faster than your challenges. Design a minimum viable renewal routine. Aim for consistent sleep most nights. Move your body daily, even if the session is brief. Learn something each day and write 1 note about it. Offer 1 meaningful connection each day through appreciation, help, or presence. Once a week, reconnect with your values and mission and decide on a small act of service. Make renewal practical with a weekly rhythm. Plan your week on paper or on a tablet. Review your mission. Schedule 2 protected quadrant 2 blocks. Plan 1 deposit at home and 1 deposit at work. Choose 1 reset for your environment, such as cleaning your workspace or planning meals. At the end of the week, rate your energy and note 1 change to try next week. Now let us assemble the system into a workable plan. The next 90 days will be your practice field. Month 1 focuses on ownership and clarity. Write your 1-page mission. List your roles and define 1 real outcome for each role. Do a weekly preview every Sunday. Track your language and replace have to with choose to. Keep a simple daily journal with 3 lines. What did I choose today? What did I learn? What will I do tomorrow? Month 2 focuses on priority and trust. Schedule 2 deep work blocks each week and protect them. Create a win-win performance agreement for your highest priority outcome with your manager, partner, or client. Practice empathic listening in one important conversation each week, and do not move on until you hear that is right. Make 2 relationship deposits each week. Build a small dashboard for yourself that shows hours spent in quadrant 2. Big rocks completed, agreements in place, and deposits made. Month 3 focuses on collaboration and renewal. Facilitate one synergy session to solve a real problem. Reset your meeting norms so each meeting has a purpose, outcomes, and roles. Start a short weekly learn and share with your team. Run an energy audit and design a minimum viable day that supports focus and health. Ask 3 people for honest feedback using keep, start, and stop questions. Then pick one change and try it for 2 weeks. You can also use role-based playbooks. If you are an individual contributor, own your craft. Publish progress weekly without being asked. Define done before you start. Protect deep work time. Propose acceptance criteria that help both you and your reviewer. Ask a peer for feedback and reflect it back without defensiveness. In debates, offer merged solutions. Keep a learning log and share one useful insight each week. If you are a people manager, model proactive behavior. Clarify the team North Star and measures. Reduce meeting sprawl and protect maker time. Build role agreements with your reports so expectations are explicit. Run empathic one-on-ones where you ask, listen, reflect, and align. Host synergy sessions when work crosses team boundaries. Coach renewal by respecting vacations and guardrails around personal time. If you are an entrepreneur or owner, own the runway and the roadmap. Write a 1-page strategy and review it monthly. Focus on the few levers that move the business, such as sales pipeline, product quality, and cash. Structure vendor deals as shared wins. Listen to customers until they say that is right. Prototype fast with partners. Guard your energy because you are the multiplier for everyone else. If you are a student, write a mission for learning. Define what mastery looks like for this term. Split your week into focus blocks. Replace cramming with spaced repetition. Form a study circle that practices synergy rather than competition. Teach what you learn. Teaching locks knowledge in place. Protect sleep. It is your top performance enhancer. If you are a parent or caregiver, set shared values with your family. Protect device-free time at meals. When conflict arises, listen first until your child or partner says that is right. Then calmly share your view and decide together. Celebrate small wins. Create simple rituals like a walk, a story, or a weekly adventure. The home becomes a place of safety and growth. Let us move into scenarios and scripts you can adapt. When a crisis hits at work, stop and take one slow breath. Define the outcome. Clarify the facts. List the next 3 steps you control. Call the people affected early. Speak plainly. When a remote team is drifting, begin meetings with the end in mind. Ask for cameras on for the opening 5 minutes. Use a brief connection question. Confirm owners and dates before the call ends. When a deadline is tight, shrink scope to protect quality. Share that trade openly and get agreement. When a customer is upset, listen until you hear that is right. Then offer two clear options and recommend the safer one. When you face a career change, write your mission and name your non-negotiables. List your skills and the problems you love to solve. Set a 90-day plan that includes learning, outreach, and small projects that show value. Now we address common traps and how to escape them. The first trap is trying to do everything at once. The escape is to start small. Choose one keystone move, such as a weekly preview and a daily deep work block. The second trap is mistaking business for priority. The escape is to write your end in mind first, for each week and for each day. The third trap is perfectionism. The escape is to ship a draft, learn and iterate. The fourth trap is an unsupportive environment. The escape is to widen your circle of influence. Find one ally. Change one rule in your calendar. Improve one tool. The fifth trap is loss of energy. The escape is to sharpen the saw before you push harder. Sleep, movement, and reflection restore your capacity to perform. You can track progress with a simple scoreboard. Each week, record hours in quadrant 2. Record big rocks completed. Record the count of that is right moments. Record relationship deposits made. Record sleep average and number of learning blocks. Look for trends rather than perfection. If one measure dips for 2 weeks, run a small experiment. Shorten meetings, decline one low-value commitment, or add one renewal habit. Keep the experiment small and time-bound. Review the results and keep what works. Accountability helps. Share your mission with one trusted person. Set a brief weekly check-in that takes 10 minutes. Share one win, one challenge, and one commitment for the coming week. Keep it supportive and simple. You can rotate partners if needed. The point is not judgment. The point is steady progress. As you practice the 7 habits, you will feel an upward spiral. You take a value-based action. You learn from the result. You recommit at a slightly higher level. Capability grows, trust grows. Your circle of influence expands. Over months and years, this spiral carries you to a different level of effectiveness in your work, your family, and your community. Let us close by compressing the system into a few sentences you can remember. Habit 1 says, choose your response and act from values. Habit 2 says, begin with a clear end. Habit 3 says, put first things first and protect what matters. Habit 4 says, build fair agreements that serve both sides. Habit 5 says, understand before you seek to be understood. Habit 6 says, combine differences to create something better. Habit 7 says, renew yourself so you can keep going. Start now. Pick one action you will take today. Write your big rock for tomorrow and block time for it before anything else. Choose one relationship deposit and do it before the week ends. End each day with a 2-minute review. Ask, what did I choose? What did I learn? And what will I do next? Repeat this cycle for 90 days. Small steps compound into lasting change. You do not control every event. You do control your choices. Choose responsibility over reaction. Choose purpose over drift. Choose priority over noise. Choose mutual benefit over winning alone. Choose listening over ego. Choose creative collaboration over silos. Choose renewal so you can keep choosing well. Thank you for listening. May your next decision reflect your highest values, and may your next action create results that make you proud.